I'm just going to start talking. Good morning. Welcome to the deliberative session of the Newmarket Town Meeting. My name is Chris Hawkins. I'm the town moderator, and our first order of business is to pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just a few quick procedural things before we get started. Over on the table, hopefully people picked up the moderator's rules of procedure. These are the rules by which the meeting will be governed. They haven't changed over the years. The important thing about it is if I have to make a ruling on some issue and the meeting disagrees, the meeting has the authority, you have the authority to overrule my ruling. Because it is your meeting, not mine, I'm just here to kind of be the traffic cop and help things move along as smoothly as possible. When a warrant article comes up, the way the law works is unless a proposed warrant article is amended, it is going on the warrant as presented. So there's not going to be individual votes on the separate warrant articles unless, but there will be rulings on motions if motions are made. If you want to comment on a warrant article, please step up to the microphone. Terry has a sign-in sheet there. Put your name and address just so we can confirm that you are a resident of the town. And that's just to help us do the minutes later so we know exactly who's there. And please announce your name and your address for the record. Finally, it is typically our practice to allow town employees who are not town residents to address the meeting to provide information to the meeting as required. And that's the practice we're going to follow in this instance. Okay, so the first article on the warrant is Article T1. That is just announcing the candidates for the upcoming municipal elections. There's no action to be taken on that, so I'm going to pass down to Article T2. Article T2 is to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $75,000 for the purpose of conducting a sludge thickening and supplemental carbon upgrade survey that will qualify the town for federal and state funds, such sum to be raised by the issuance of serial bonds and notes not to exceed $75,000 under and in compliance with the provisions of the Municipal Finance Act, New Hampshire RSA 33:1 et sec as amended, and to authorize the town to issue and negotiate such bonds or notes to determine the rate of interest thereon and to take such actions as may be necessary to effect the issuance, negotiation, sale, and delivery of such bonds or notes as shall be in the best interest of the town. Additionally, to authorize the town to apply for and accept grants or other funds that may reduce the amount to be repaid and participate in the state revolving fund, RSA 486:14, established for this purpose, and to allow the town to expend such monies as become available from the federal and state governments and pass any vote relating thereto. It is anticipated that the town will receive up to $75,000 in principal forgiveness with no impact on the sewer user rate or tax rate. 2/3 vote required. This is recommended by the town council and recommended by the Municipal Budget Committee, each unanimously. And I forgot to mention, if you haven't checked in, if you're a voter in town, please make sure that you've checked in if you've not already done so. All that being said, is there going to be a presentation on this article, or are there questions or comments from the audience on Article T2? Sorry?
I can explain it quickly.
If you would, Mr. Fournier, please.
Procedurally, this is just, as it says, we're going to be doing a study on sludge thickening and supplemental carbon upgrade for the wastewater plant. So it's exciting items. But in order to get the money, we have to actually apply for a loan from the state revolving loan fund. And on the flip side, they're going to waive the entire loan. So but we still have to go out and borrow the money. So we still have to have this warrant article. So it's a wash, but we still have to have it on the ballot.
Any questions, comments on Article T2? Seeing none, Article T2 will go on the warrant as presented. Article T3, to see if the town will raise and appropriate as an operating budget, not including appropriations by special warrant articles, the amounts set forth on the budget posted with the warrant or as amended by vote of the first session for the purposes set forth therein, totaling $15,217,841. Should this article be defeated, the default budget shall be $14,662,653, which is the same as last year, with certain adjustments required by previous action of the town or by law. Or the town council may hold one special meeting to take up the issue of a revised operating budget only. If passed, it is estimated that passage of this article will amount to $6.55 in the tax rate, which is 3-cent increase over the previous year. If the article is defeated, the default budget will amount to $5.56 on the tax rate, majority vote required, recommended by the Municipal Budget Committee 8-2. The Town Council recommended a budget of $15,165,541, 7-0. So, Mr. Forney, if you can do a brief presentation on the budget.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Just briefly to go over some of the budget and some of the history. First thing is I always like to discuss what our current tax rate is and what we're actually discussing. As you can see, and I don't think it's a large surprise, a vast majority of the tax, your tax dollar goes to support the schools, with 67% or $17.62 per thousand goes to the local school, and $1.98 or 8% goes to the state school. When we say the state school, it's not like we're sending money to Concord and they send it back. It's money that we have to raise on behalf of the state and distribute to the school. The next largest, which is at 22%, is the town, which is what we're discussing during this portion of it, which is $5.84 per thousand. And then the smallest is at 92 cents per thousand, which is what we contribute to the county. This is just a 5-year comparison of the tax rate. As you can see, the bold portion is the town, where we've remained pretty level for the last 5 years, including having a reval during that point in time. So it's, we're between $6.13 or $6.39 was the high point in 2018, and now we're at $5.84, as we mentioned. So the Municipal Budget Committee is recommending a budget of $15,217,841, or a 10.8% increase. The council recommended a budget of $15,165,541, increase of $1.4 million. Enterprise funds will see $613,936 additional dollars. General fund is $64,090, and special revenue funds at $258,080. So what are those different funds? The general fund is what you think of your tax dollars. It funds all of the general operations of the town. Anything besides motor vehicle registrations, building permits, other revenues like that is usually raised through taxation. Special revenue funds are our recreation revolving fund, our solid waste fund, as well as the library. The first two are funded through other means. When you pay for a recreation program, it goes back into that, and it offsets the programming. Solid waste, you pay for the bags, it offsets a portion of the programming. And the library is a special revenue because we contribute a grant to the library, and they oversee their budget, so it's one line item. Finally, the enterprise fund is the water and sewer, which is paid for by ratepayers. So anything that goes through the rates covers that. So where's the increase? We're seeing an increase of health insurance by 8.5% for a guaranteed maximum rate increase for the health trust. The recreation revolving budget is increasing due to the new site supervisor role of $41,600. This will be offset by equal increases in special revenue lines. Public Works Administration is largely up due to the addition of an engineering position at $89,900. Buildings and ground budget is down largely due to the elimination of the facilities director role. We're transferring it from one to the other. Police Department part-time salary is up due to the addition of a part-time parking enforcement officer. Code enforcement officer is transitioning to full-time. Roadways and sidewalk budget is up due to a 44% increase in road salt costs. You've heard all the stories about the ships being stuck off the shore. That impacts us because we can't get our salt in. Debt service for water projects, that's why there's an increase in the enterprise funds. we're paying off the debt. And Channel 13 costs are notably higher due to making the director a full-time position. And this is our revenue. As you can see, we're estimating we're going to have $8,915,420 in non-tax property tax revenue. That's an increase over the previous year, mainly because we're getting additional funds from the state. The state budget increased room and meals tax contribution, as well as additional funds to offset water and sewer. The rates went up, so they're going to be offsetting some of their revenues. The next is the default budget. The default budget is if the budget fails, which is at $15,217,841, that this budget would be in place, is $14,662,653, which is basically we take last year's budget, add any contractual obligations, and subtract any one-time expenditures or any new expenditures. So that's how we determine that. So next slide is my big warning that this is an estimate, only use data as we have today because a lot of the data could change, and that would be the estimated tax impact. So how we determine the tax rate is you take the gross appropriation of the $15.2 million, you less the revenues of 8.9, then you add $20,000 for overlay, which is what we pay for abatements and other items like that. Add the war service credits, which is the veterans receive if they are served, a credit on their tax bill. So the net appropriation is $6,415,113. You divide that by the value of the town, which is $987,870,471. Multiply that by 1,000, and we receive a tax rate of $6.55. Just a reminder, election day is on March 8th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Town Hall.
Fournier, are there any questions or comments on Article T3? Any questions about any of the information you've heard from Mr. Fournier? Seeing none, Article T3 will proceed to the warrant as presented. And seeing no further business to come before the meeting at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Mr. Swanson. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Thank you. The meeting is adjourned.